Introducing convenient ways to use the EB-1. Using the sewing machine vertically with the face cover facing forward. By using the sewing machine with the face cover facing the front, you can set sewing items and sew continuous buttonholes more smoothly. We will introduce how to use when sewing side hole buttonholes continuously. When sewing eyelet radial buttonhole for jackets, etc., rotating the sewing machine 270 degrees will allow you to continue sewing efficiently. Rotate the eyelet radial buttonhole 270 degrees. See Chapter 4 for details on changing the rotation angle. With the turned 270 degrees of the rotation angle, insert the sewing material from the face side and sew. After sewing is finished, raise the presser frame and slide the sewing material sideways. Drop the needle on the start position mark, lower the presser frame and start sewing. Next, we will explain how to use it when sewing a vertical buttonholes and then sewing a horizontal buttonholes. When sewing vertical buttonholes for shirt plackets, etc., the initial rotation angle is set to 0 degrees for efficient continuous sewing. After sewing the vertical buttonholes, raise the presser frame and slide the sewing material sideways. Change the rotation angle to 270 degrees and sew the top horizontal buttonhole. If you want to sew in areas where the presser frame cannot hold tightly, attach a breakable type of interlining for a clean finish. How to use the difference in height correction plate. The difference in height correction plate is used when sewing buttonholes on multi-layered parts of the material. Sew the buttonholes so that the seam allowances do not overlap. In the case of jackets, etc., there are thickness step between the thick part with seam allowance on the inside and the part where the buttonhole is sewn. Use the difference in height correction plate so that the presser frame does not float and rattle on this multi-layered section. When sewing the top buttonhole of the jacket, place the difference in height correction plate in this position. Lower the presser frame, being careful not to cover the sewing area. The presser frame holds the sewing material horizontally, resulting in a beautiful finish. For buttonholes other than the top, it is effective to place the difference in height correction plate in this way. How to use the non-slip sheet. The non-slip sheet is used for thin, soft materials and slippery materials. It is effective in preventing shrinkage and misalignment of seams because it reduces the deflection and slippage of the material. Adjust the position of the non-slip sheet so that it does not cover the sewing area, and lower the presser frame. Start by pulling both ends of the fabric to make sure there is no slack in the fabric where the buttonhole is to be sewn.